We're at the halfway mark of the season, and what better way to celebrate than to have a party at a driver's favorite and personal favorite racetrack as we welcome you to the São Paulo Grand Prix for round 10 of this groundbreaking season as we go around this 2.67 mile circuit for the 41st time here at Interlagos. Today it'll be an aggressive group of drivers looking to take advantage of what Interlagos has to offer, looking to get a great start towards the second half of the season in what should be an exciting race. Now let's take a trip around this historic track. Two DRS zones offering plenty of chances for overtaking, making top speed a priority for this week's aero package. It's a 15-turn track, 10 to the left and 5 to the right, giving a huge advantage to the inside line as we'll go around this track 31 times, making for different tyre strategies in what should be a one-stop race. Pirelli bringing its softest compounds today as it's the C5, the C4 and the C3. A shorter race today calls for a tough decision. Would you rather start or finish the race on that soft tyre? Cooler temperatures should help keep some life in these tyres as it's been perfect weather this weekend in São Paulo. The fans are out enjoying it in what has been an electrifying weekend thus far. All of them excited to see if Team Ford can continue the run of dominance that they've had this season, looking for a second straight Constructors Championship. Doing most of the heavy lifting this season for Ford has been Quintin Wilson as he's starting to get out to a comfortable lead in the Drivers' Championship. But still within striking distance is former Drivers' Champion Brendan Bates, who is looking to gain some ground on Wilson. Behind Bates is Chance Paul, who is still looking for his second win of the season, and an unfamiliar side as Max Verstappen is just outside the top three. He's shown some frustration with Red Bull after qualifying, saying he's only as fast as the car he's given. Well, let's look at how fast the rest of the field was in qualifying as we look at our starting grid. In a familiar spot, it's Sergio Perez starting in the back behind a struggling Lewis Hamilton. In front of them, it's Lando Norris and Elius Hawkins, who's looking for his first podium of his rookie season. Row 2 is where we break into the 22.9s as a dissatisfied Max Verstappen will start in P4 behind the consistent Chance Paul. And it's starting to become a tradition in the front row as Brendan Bates will be looking to make up some ground on a seemingly unstoppable Quintin Wilson, who's looking for a 6th straight victory in what has been an incredible start to his young career. Well, the storyline of the season has been the Americans. Well, let's bring in our very own American color commentator, Alan Ellis.
Thanks, Will. Always an honor to be here. Prior to 2 seasons ago, Phil Hill was the only American-born driver to win the Formula One championship. Now there's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Americans showing out in the field. First off, Q Wilson, 5 straight wins. How about that average start? 1.0, first every race. A rookie campaign like no other, except for the guy starting right beside him, Brendan Bates. Former Ford prospect, 2-time champion, fan favorite, 41 wins to his name, reliable with that 96% podium finish. Mr. Consistency, however, how about Chance Paul? 4 podiums in his last 5 races, but he's been out of the winner's circle back since round 1 this year, searching for win number 4 in his young career. Elius Hawkins, on the other hand, just searching for a good finish. Zip, zero, zilch, nada in the podium department. Absolutely looking for anything to get them going.
So Elius Hawkins looking to get going. Sergio Perez might be on his way out as rumors are swirling that Red Bull has hit the market looking for their next driver. Names have surfaced such as Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri and George Russell, but a new name has emerged this week. More on this now as joining us is Chevy race engineer Tate Goodyear.
Hey guys, only got a minute before this thing gets kicked off, so make it quick.
Well, let's keep it simple. How's team morale over there at Chevy?
I mean, I think you guys could probably just look at the standings, the leaderboards, and think how morale is on this team. I mean, you know, Brendan's doing fantastic. He's winning races for us left and right. Elius, on the other hand, I mean, he's really trying his best. That's one thing you could say for him is that he is truly trying. But the results just are not there. Maybe in a couple minutes we'll have a different thing, and we'll be celebrating Elius in this conference. But right now it's just it's not working.
Well, it appears that you've been working with Red Bull in a apparent shift towards being a driver. Tate, can you just let us know how true these rumors are and if you really are planning on leaving for the second seat at Red Bull?
You guys want the truth? I'll give you the full honest truth. I'm sick and tired of hearing Red Bull this, Red Bull that. All I want to do is win races and compete and beat the other teams. I'm trying my best as a manager to my driver. He's not really giving it all back to me right now. So we'll have to see how that correlates to next year. But I want to finish out the rest of this year, win a couple races, build some momentum, and see how it goes. But, you know, Red Bull it's definitely interesting. That's all I'll say. It's interesting, and I'm going to leave it there. No more questions. Let's see what happens after this race. I'm going to try to motivate my guy Elius to have a good performance here, because we all know he needs it. See you guys.
Well, that was Tate Goodyear giving us a little insight on the future for Chevy and Red Bull. Really interesting developments here lately. Well, we're just a few moments away from the start of this race. In the meantime, please enjoy this exclusive sneak peek at an electrifying interview from the golf course just yesterday with Quintin Wilson.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. So we're going to play 3 holes, get to know Q a little bit, ask a little racing questions, talk about his season so far, and Q might even give us some golf tips today.
Yeah, well, you know, the course was named after me, the course of champions. So it's only fitting that you spend a day out here with me. So I'll show you what I got.
Well, once you start us off, use your big stick, hit us a big drive here.
Just get ready for it.
Bomb. Great shot, Q.
Just how you draw it up. I can't confirm or deny the activities I was doing down in the favelas.
Okay.
But I saw this one movie, Fast and Furious.
Fast 5.
That one, yeah. And I saw welcome, or what is it? This is Brazil.
This is, yeah.
And I figured I should, you know, take a page out of Vin Diesel's book and try my luck. Needless to say, it was a great time.
Wow, that would have been awesome if that went in. So are you a Fast and Furious fan?
No, I just like the women there.
Was that, like, you know, I did a practice shot too, so I figured that's just your practice shot.
Yeah, no, that's more of my routine, you know.
And you get real close to the ball when you're doing a practice shot because you have the precision that Formula One drivers need to make sure you weren't going to hit the ball there.
See,
obviously.
you get it, you get it, you know, and I'm
See,
glad
learning.
you get it.
Now, some are saying that golf is going to be more of the profession you're going for. Formula One's more of a hobby for you.
Well, I think golf is a lot more challenging compared to Formula One because the only person I have to compete against is myself, and you know, we both know how good I am against myself. So I'm the only fair competition, and golf is the only sport where I play myself every single time. Formula One, I keep playing all these scrubs. I keep racing against people that have no business being on the same track as me. So it's honestly like, it would be a better use of my time to switch. That look about right? It's more like on par for my
Save the best for
average
last.
day. Exactly. Just wanted to show you guys that I still got it.
All right, let's get on to it. Let's see if you're in the hole.
I just want to go up here, see how close I actually
Might even be in the hole.
Who knows? I mean,
Let's take the stairs, actually.
yeah, you know, the heavy breathing.
Probably don't want to get you tired for tomorrow. You got a big race tomorrow.
Look, I can race, win, lose, draw, rain, shine, tornadoes, typhoons, you know. Doesn't matter which country, doesn't matter what's going on. All I do is put on these glasses and hit good golf shots. You know, not as close as I'd expected, but
Easy birdie, right?
I'd say it's pretty locked in for a 2.
It always looks like a good time when around Q Wilson. Well, everyone here in the stands is having a great time as it's packed out and everyone is on their feet anticipating the start of this race.
And Will, we've talked about the American drivers and their impact on their domestic audience. This Brazilian crowd with no Brazilian drivers in the field have really picked a liking to them.
Well, it's been an exciting weekend here in São Paulo, but we've had enough waiting as the lights are on the safety cars and we get this formation lap underway. And as they go around the track, Alan, tell us about the tire strategies being used today.
Cooler temperatures than normal today in São Paulo. One-stop strategy, the name of the game. But do you want to end or start on the softs? Medium, the tire of choice for most of this field. Only Norris and Poor starting on the soft tire.
And our leader, Q Wilson, falling behind on the formation lap, but don't be alarmed if you're new here. He's done this every single race. Alan, can you explain the strategy behind this?
The strategy, maybe not so much, but the effect absolutely cools the tires of everyone behind him to an effect that he will always have the advantage so long as he's starting in front.
And starting in front, of course, something he's done well this season as he's gotten pole in all 10 races. He's won the last 5. Can he make it 6 consecutive wins today? And here we go as green flag is waving. The lights are on here at Interlagos for round 10. and it's lights out and away we go. Great reaction times all around as it's a clean start in the inside line, showing its advantage early as Brendan Bates jumps out to lead, and Q Wilson immediately drops down to fourth, but here he comes on the attack. He'll have a couple inside lunges at Bates, looking to retake the lead. But Bates is able to hold him off and keeps that inside line all the way onto the front stretch, and he'll look to take the lead into lap 2.
Great two-car battle up front. Bates and Wilson fighting it out through the S's, around to the curve, and now through the inside. Bates to the front, still in the lead. Verstappen behind. Wilson through the inside, gonna make a push for the lead, not quite gonna get it there. Through the inside, and he takes the lead, but was it too early? At the DRS detection zone, here comes Bates back with DRS down the front.
So Bates able to use the DRS to get back out in front, and how about Sergio Perez? He'll need to use as much DRS as possible as he's quickly falling behind. He'll need to keep that interval within 1 second, or we can see him fall out of contention. Looks like he's having a better run here. He's gaining some time on Hamilton. That gap was nearly 1 second coming into this lap. He's now cut that in half as Brendan Bates is continuing to maintain his lead, really getting as much as he can out of that medium tire. The question is, how much longer can he be aggressive before needing to let off? And here comes an opportunity for Paul as he's looking to make a move here. Aggressive into turn 8, speeding through 9 and 10, and it looks like he'll have the lead out of turn 11. What a move by Paul early on in this race.
But Bates is behind at the detection zone. Will he have the speed down the front? No, those soft tires for chance 4 gonna be enough. Goes purple that lap. Let's check out the replay as he goes from 4th to 3rd to 2nd and back around to 1st around the inside through 8, 9, 10, and 11. Right in front of the DRS detection zone. You'd think Bates would have an advantage, but the soft tire's enough.
Hey, Bob! Why the hell is Chance so much faster than me?
Yeah, so Chance is on the soft tire, and currently we are on the medium tire.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. My bad, boss. I'll shut up.
So Bates seems to be confused seeing his former teammate pass him up. Might have even forgotten what tire he was on as these soft tires are really starting to shine. Lando Norris has been flying on these last 2 laps as he's just done back-to-back fastest laps. He's up to P2 after starting in P6. Now let's have a look back at the start of this race. It was the inside line that really took advantage of the slow start from the outside. Bates was able to clear Wilson by nearly 3 car lengths going into turn 4.
And let's check out a couple of these onboards. Watch this start. Brendan Bates from the inside lane, the 2nd position start, able to clear him through turns 1, 2, and 3, has the lead outright going around. Now Quintin Wilson, as we noted, slowed up to try and slow his competitors, did not warm up his own tires, loses 2 positions off the jump of the race. Aeneas Hawkins back in 5th on the start, bunched up as the slow lane starts backing them up, but has since recovered and is now running P2.
An impressive performance by Hawkins so far, getting up to P2 and battling to stay there on the medium tires, and a bit of contact in turn 6 between Hamilton and Wilson. Looked like Wilson was taking an inside lunge, but Hamilton was just able to cut off the inside. This wouldn't be the first time that there's been conflict between the two. Most recently in Baku, it was Wilson who ended Hamilton's race while lapping him and pushing him off the track. Maybe a bit of payback there from Hamilton. Looks like no damage to either car as they'll battle into turn 6 once again. And once again, it's Wilson getting into Hamilton.
Hamilton is really starting to piss me off.
Confirm, just be patient.
Buddy. Patience? He cut into me!
Yeah, and Will, like you mentioned, that rivalry has been brewing for a few weeks, but Wilson just needs to get around Hamilton. He's been faster on pace all year. But speaking of fast drivers, Poor and Norris on the soft tires starting to gap the pack, already a 1.5 seconds in front of Bates. He is outside of DRS range. These two, if they don't collide into one another, are going to start pulling away on the soft tires.
And out of turn 3, Norris will have DRS, and he'll take the lead. An impressive drive by him thus far, starting from P6 as he's our new race leader. And Norris, of course, not only looking for that elusive first career win, but looking for his first podium of the season. He very well may be on his way to one of the 2 if he can keep this performance going.
But here's where things are going to get interesting. Soft tire life is coming to a close, and Norris and Poor are not as far ahead as they thought they were going to be. The undercut may not be the advantage, and these medium tires are going to be able to get past and potentially stay in front of these two after everything cycles.
So the question is, when will the top 2 box? No action in the pits thus far, so they'll stay out on those softs, which look to have enough life for at least one more lap. Bates starting to catch up to the top two, and behind him, it's Q Wilson, who's been absolutely flying ever since that collision with Hamilton. Our battle forecast has him catching Bates in one lap, but at this pace, it looks like he may take the lead by the end of this lap, as he'll have DRS into the straightaway, and he's rapidly catching Bates and battling to the line, and Wilson will now take the lead into lap 14.
What an absolute move from Q Wilson. Made up over a second that lap to take the lead.
Oh, but Wilson loses his wing. Wilson's wing on the track in turn 6. Will this be enough for a safety car?
Okay, it looks like we've lost the rear wing.
Hey, who in the garage doesn't know the difference between a rear wing and a chicken wing?
So no safety cars, track is clear, and Wilson deciding to stay out after losing that rear wing.
Yeah, but with the medium tire life starting to come to a close, now would be a really good time to just come in early, fix the wing, and essentially be on the same strategy. Worst thing he could do is stay out.
Okay, we will box this lap and pit for repair. Please confirm.
No! I'm faster than Bates without it. I'll box when he boxes. Now stay out of my head and stay out of my ear!
And staying out is Q Wilson. A questionable move here as he's clearly losing time. Nearly 7 seconds per lap without a rear wing. He's lost 2 positions and now 3 in the last lap. And he's about to lose a 4th position as his teammate will look to go by. Wilson clearly struggling out there with no rear wing.
Hey, why is Q not pitting?
Yeah, you know how that rat bastard Q is, though. It's all right. We'll talk about it after the race.
Yeah, Chance Poord seems just as confused as all of us. Passes his Ford teammate, sees no rear wing, and he sees what we all see. Q Wilson going straight to the back of the field, losing a ton of time when he could be pitting to fix the wing.
And speaking of pitting, there's action now as it looks like Bates and Wilson will be boxing this lap. The first to change out those medium tires, both will swap to the softs. Question is, how much longer will the mediums last for those who haven't yet boxed?
Hawk, you know the strategy. Let's go ahead and box this lap.
Nah, I think I'll box next lap.
Hawk, you know what strategy we're using, and it calls for boxing. So please confirm that you are about to box this lap right now.
Hey, why don't you go focus on Red Bull?
Okay, so currently we are 12.
Yeah, I know what's going on. Shut up, let me do what I need to do.
Yeah, those short fuses are getting shorter and shorter. Tempers flaring in every pit box in the heat of battle as things are getting more and more frustrating.
And a bit frustrated is the pit crew of Q Wilson. Mass confusion down there as he may have left his pit box a bit early. More on this as we throw it down to our trackside reporter Destiny Sanchez with more on this development.
Thanks, Will. And as you said, lots of frustration down there between the crew and the Ford pit box. Q Wilson was very impatient when he stopped for repairs, ultimately leaving his box early. Now, they're not certain that they got the rear wing fully installed, but so far so good for Q Wilson as he looks like he's back up to speed and is looking to get back into this race. Back to you guys.
Well, that's something to keep an eye on, but as of right now, up to speed might be an understatement for Q Wilson as he's absolutely flying around the track. He's quickly caught back up to Hamilton, and on these soft tires, it should be an easy overtake for Wilson, who's making an inside lunge and into turn 10. He'll be in P5, but he's not done yet because he'll be coming into the front stretch with DRS and looking to overtake Perez as Wilson gets the inside and coming to the line. It looks like he'll be in 4th place.
Wilson, a man on a mission right now, trying to climb up back through the field. He asked that his team leave him alone. He was very frustrated, but he needs to know in the back of his mind that that wing is tight because no one on that pit stall is sure, and they are sweating bullets here with just a handful of laps remaining.
So when Paul crosses the line, there'll be 9 laps remaining in this race. Those cars on the soft tires may be holding back just a little to make sure that they're at their fastest for the closing laps of this race as the field is starting to stack up a little as there's a bit of urgency here to catch up to Paul, who hasn't lost much pace at all on those medium tires.
Oh, and what a gutsy block from Brendan Bates, stalling the momentum of Q Wilson, but at what cost? They're going to be slow around the outside as the 2 Red Bulls are going to move into 2nd and 3rd, looking for a double podium finish, but do they have enough time to catch Chance Poord for more?
Oh, and a collision between Bates and Hawkins. This may call for a safety car, and Hawkins will not be happy about that one.
What the is Bates doing? We're on the same team. What the hell was that?
Hawk, I don't know what the hell that was, but to be honest, it kind of looked like it was your fault. So, great job. Great job.
Tate, shut the hell up.
so there'll be no safety car, and that collision will not be good for team chemistry at Chevy. Not quite sure who's to blame, but Elius Hawkins already making up for the time lost, as it looks like he's back up to speed and has already gotten 2 positions back as he passes the Porsches. Looks like he's really pushing that soft tyre to its limits as he's flying through the field this lap, already back into the top 5 and now into the top 4s. He's already caught back up and is beside Brendan Bates, and this time there's no collision as Hawkins goes through, passing Bates and Paul for P2.
21.788. Hawkins on a flyer catches up to his teammate and is now working together with him. But right behind the Chevys, the pair of Ford teammates, the 4 American drivers on the 2 teams chasing after Sergio Perez, who is having the race of his season, but can he hold on?
What a race by Perez thus far. All the controversy surrounding Red Bull. Who will be in the seat for next season? Well, he may just earn his keep today if he can hold on for the win, but doing so will be a huge challenge as here comes the points leader in Q Wilson, who's gone purple in sectors 1 and 2, and now going in to turn 12, he'll have DRS and going into the front stretch as he overtakes Perez and takes the lead.
It was only a matter of time. Q Wilson puts in a fast lap, 21.763, fastest of the race. But can he hold off this Red Bull duo? They have been putting on a glorious showing. Best of the season so far for Perez and Verstappen, but they're going to have to put on a better showing than that to hold him off.
So Verstappen into the lead, but once again, Wilson with DRS will retake the lead into the front stretch. Now, with 3 laps to go as this race is coming down to the wire, Verstappen will have DRS out of turn 3.
That wing's loose.
Oh, and it looks like the left side of the wing for Q Wilson has come loose. His crew was worried it wasn't fully locked in when the wing was replaced, and it looks like their worst fears have come true here in the closing laps, as that will essentially end his race. A tough blow for Wilson, but it's not yet over for Team Ford, as Chance Paul will go into the lead with 2 to go. And here comes Team Chevy, but a block by Verstappen will slow the momentum of Bates. Hawkins was able to get through as he looks to turn his season around. No podium so far this year, but his luck could change as he's into the lead and at the line. It'll be 1 lap to go. Could it be a first win for Hawkins? Could it be a much needed second win for Paul? It will all be decided here on the final lap. Hawkins extending his lead. Brendan Bates now flying into turn 6.
Oh, there's a wreck in the back of the field.
A collision between Hawkins and Hamilton. This may be a race-ending safety car. Just a yellow so far. And no, they say track is clear, but confusion as Hawkins slows down, and Brendan Bates will take the lead, and now he will take the win here at Interlagos. What just happened?
Will, I think Brendan Bates just put this victory into the hands of the FIA. Hawkins and Paul are both slowed down as if they assumed it was going to be a safety car, and then they could coast to the finish line in their respective positions. Brendan Bates, even though he saw double-waved yellows and was told as much, I'm assuming, tried to go from 3rd to 1st and said, I'd rather make them decide than settle for 3rd place.
And you just have to feel for Hawkins there. It was set up perfectly for his first victory, but instead he will walk away with a P2 knowing he has the talent to make it to the top step of the podium.
In the coming days, he'll see that silver lining, but right now, he knows he could have won this race. He believes he could have won this race, but he just didn't pull it off.
So now let's check in on Q Wilson, as it sounds like he's okay after he had that big collision on the final lap.
Q, let us know that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Who just ruined my race? Unbelievable.
So, pushing us off the track was Sergio Perez, and collision was with Lewis Hamilton.
I'm done with him! Get him out! Get him out! He's too old! He's done! His head is over! I want him gone! He's the worst! I'm over! He's the...
Okay, so Q Wilson absolutely furious after today's race. And you can't really blame him as we have a look at what just happened on that final lap. It was Hawkins out to a big lead with Bates closing in, but on the back straight it was Hamilton and Wilson getting into each other. Perez then got into the back of Wilson, who then collided with the Rolex sign, which thankfully just missed slamming down on Wilson.
1 in a million type accident. You don't see that every day. But up front, final lap, we're going to race green to the finish no matter what. Brendan Bates through 10 and through 11 goes from 3rd to 1st and sets sail down the front stretch for victory. Let's see what it sounded like on his onboard.
You got it! You got it! That's a win! Let's go!
Yes! Yes! Oh my God!
Hey, you were due for one. Let's go.
Yes!
What a drive. 1-2 for Chevy. Let's go.
Let's go, Bob! Let's go! Bring the champagne! Bring everybody! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh my God! Yeah! I'm number one! I'm number one! Team Chevy! Oh my God! That is huge! Yes! Yes! Oh my God! Yeah! Yes!
And Brendan Bates, always ecstatic after a win, as you could hear that sheer passion in his voice on that team radio. He's been left out the win column all season, but today, the race fell into his lap, and he starts off the second half of the season the best way possible.
P1 is good enough, but it's better when coupled with your closest rival finishing down in P7. But that result does not really show how good of a race Quintin Wilson was having at points through the day, and you already see the loose wing. Let's throw it back and see what happened.
So it was lap 14. Wilson had just gotten the lead when his rear wing came completely off his car. He would then pit for repair after staying out for a couple laps with no rear wing.
And Will, as Destiny told us, the team was not certain if the wing was tight or loose on that car, but Q did not seem to care as he was slicing through the field like a hot knife through butter, easily getting back up through into the midfield 7 laps after the accident.
And by lap 27, Wilson was back up to the front of the field and saw an opportunity coming out of turn 11. By the time he would reach the front stretch, he had taken the lead of this race, and for a moment, with that new rear wing, it looked like he was on his way to a 6th straight victory.
But much like his race would become, that wing came undone. By lap 29, it had completely come loose of the brackets as he started to free fall through the field.
So, rear wing has come loose. Expect less downforce.
What? Are you kidding me? Not again! No! No! No!
And then, of course, on the final lap, Wilson's day would go from bad to worse as a collision would drive him into the Rolex sign on the back straight.
Wilson had 5 consecutive victories entering this race, never been accomplished before by a rookie. But with all the good, you need to experience the bad. But he cannot let this one race get him down. He has the whole rest of the season to try and catch back up, but he needs to keep his mind in the right place.
So it was a disappointing day for Q Wilson, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be a disappointing afternoon for these track marshals getting that Rolex sign cleared off the track.
Yeah, but lucky for everyone involved, no one injured in the accident, and it happens on the last lap. So we've finished the race, and we're not sitting under red waiting to resume. The only real damage accrued seems to just be Q Wilson's driver's standings.
Yes, and we'll touch on those standings a bit later, but right now Destiny Sanchez has the microphone in her hand and is standing by with the podium finishers. We'll hear from them now. Firstly, it's your 3rd place driver, Chance Poor.
Chance Poor, congratulations on P3. Let us know how you're feeling after getting a podium finish today.
Yeah, so we went out there, we executed our game plan, like you saw, we went on soft tires, started out, established dominance right out the gate. And you see, the medium tires didn't last long, but, P3's not a bad finish for an off day for us. We didn't have the best game plan out there, but, we executed what we had, but, just didn't go our way today.
It was a soft tire strategy today for you. Tell us, are you having any regrets towards that strategy choice after seeing success from the drivers that started on the mediums?
Yeah, no regrets at all. I'm not going to follow the leader. I'm doing my own game plan. Like I said, we're establishing dominance right out of the gate. We got that big lead in the medium tires. They just didn't last long enough for us. But, we'll get them next time. We execute our game plan, but all around not satisfied. P3, we could have got P1, but, it's just an off day like I mentioned, but we'll get them next time.
So a good result for you, but a rather disappointing day for your teammate Q Wilson, who of course had that collision with Lewis Hamilton on the final lap. Tell us, how's the team feeling and how is Q feeling after a poor result from today's race?
Yeah, I talked to Q a little bit. He's not a happy camper. Yeah, he does not like that Lewis guy. Not upset, just filled with anger. Lewis really cost him the race practically, but as far as talking to Q, I haven't talked to him much, but I just know he's really angry with Lewis.
Well, congratulations on P3 and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Aeneas Hawkins, congratulations on P2, your first podium of your young career. Tell us how you're feeling after a great drive today.
Yeah, well, anytime that we end up on the podium, you know, we're obviously going to be excited about it. We put a lot of work into this. A little disheartening not getting P1. We felt like we could have done it if maybe communication had just been a little bit better with my race engineer, but I don't want to go into too many details there. Obviously, again, a top 3 finish, my first ever. I'm thankful. These are the moments that we work for, but obviously we're going to find a way to strive for more.
Now, of course, addressing the elephant in the room, that final lap, it appeared that you slowed down a bit, allowing Brendan Bates to pass and get the victory. Can you explain what happened there?
You know, first and foremost, Brendan Bates is a tremendous teammate. I'm excited to be on his team. I'm excited anytime I see him find success. But to go back to the miscommunication with my race engineers is things like that can't happen. It's the little details. Tate Goodyear knows how bad I want to win. And he knows that I was in a position to do it. I had to mute him during the race just due to an overall lack of professionalism and ability to coach at a high level. So I had to mute him, and it caused me not to win this race. I'm thinking that we have a safety car on the course, and really we just had a yellow flag up there, which explains why I slowed down the way that I did. And it's just unfortunate because realistically it cost me my first victory on a day where I ended up on the podium. I really could have left here with a victory if I just had known that it was a yellow flag versus, again, the safety car that I thought it was.
Well, the drama between you and Tate has been a major headline in recent weeks. Do you see a path towards healing this relationship, or does there need to be a change?
Well, we don't want to get too negative with this, but, you know, anytime you have a guy like Tate who's clearly working with other teams, he's compromising what we're doing over here on this team right now, it's a distraction. It's not just a distraction for me, it's a distraction for everybody involved, and ultimately it's cheating people like me. We saw results of it today. We weren't able to go be victorious today because of the distractions that Tate Goodyear is again bringing to the table. So, you know, my thing is, as much as I've loved working with Tate in the past, if he's not going to focus on where his feet are and he instead is going to betray me, he can go over there with Red Bull. I really don't care.
Elius, thank you for your time and congratulations on your first podium.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for your time. Have a good rest of your day.
Brendan Bates, congratulations on the win. Just tell us how you're feeling after your first win of the season.
Yeah, thank you. Man, there's a lot of emotions going through my body right now. A lot of tingly sensations. So, yeah, all I could say, man, is just what a win. I've been working my ass off for this, and I just can't believe it's finally here, man. I've earned this spot. I've earned that #1 spot, so I'm going to continue to try and move the points up and actually truly be in the first place polls.
So there was some confusion by your teammate on that final lap, which ultimately led to you getting the win. Tell us what was going on through your head when the yellow was waved on the final lap.
Yeah, so there was a wreckage behind me back in Sector 1, so I didn't have to worry about that. I was in Sector 2 anyway, so I was just going full speed ahead. And just what I want to do. You know, I like to go fast, and I passed by my partner, and I think there was a little bit of confusion with him and his boss man there. I think his name is Tate Goodyear. Not sure what was happening there, but he was going pretty slow. But yeah, I was in Sector 2, so I was just taking off, trying to go as fast as I can. And I think that was just a rookie error by my partner, but still he was P2, placed P2. So I think that was a good spot we were in there, and a good showing for Chevy.
Now, with this win today, you're just now 5 points away from Q Wilson, who's sitting in first in the driver's standings. How can you build off this win and carry this momentum into the second half of the season?
Q is a heck of a racer, and he's earned that first place spot. But I'm learning to not break this momentum. I'm learning to take this win and take this moment forward and continue to build upon it, and continue to show everyone that I am the best racer there is, and continue to put on a show for Chevy. Q is a heck of a racer. I know I said that earlier, but I think we've built each other a great rivalry ahead, and I'm ready to show the world what I can do and what Team Chevy can do, and I think my partner isn't too far behind.
Congratulations on the win, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
The pleasure's all mine.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's great to see Brendan Bates back on top of the podium. His first win of the season, which will end his career-long drought of 9 races without a win.
First half of the season wasn't all that good for Chevrolet, but now mid-season upgrades, 1-2 finish. Aeneas Hawkins, his first career podium, big props to him. Chevrolet has set their sights on climbing their way up the Constructors ladder, trying to finish as high up as they can. And they might just be able to reach the very top.
Well, with that being said, let's have a look at the race classification for today. Brendan Bates takes the victory and also takes the fastest lap as he was flying on the final lap of the race. Elius Hawkins had his best finish of his career as he gets his first podium with a P2. Chance Paul with yet another podium, his 7th of the season and his 4th time finishing P3. Verstappen just couldn't finish strong enough to get on the podium, but still gets a good finish at P4. Norris and Perez continued to struggle, but both showed promise today and kept it close, Perez finishing just 2.4 seconds behind Bates. And as for Wilson and Hamilton, that collision will have a lot of buzz around it as their rivalry continues, both of them finishing with a DNF today. Now looking at the Drivers' Championship, no changes as Wilson still on top, but Bates able to cut into that lead, just 5 points separating them after a great result for Bates today. And having a look at the Constructors' Championship, it's still Ford with a big lead as Paul was able to salvage some points today with a podium. Ford with a comfortable 58-point lead over Team Chevy. Well, it was yet another great weekend of racing. It always is with the excellent drivers we have this season. Alan, just tell us some of your takeaways from today.
What was a fight between every team for a chance at victory is now just between two, Ford and Chevrolet. Ford, they have been by and large the favorite over the last few years, but that gap is closing very, very rapidly. Brendan Bates, victorious, with his teammate Elius Hawkins right behind him, 1-2 finish, first in the history of Team Chevrolet. Ford, on the other hand, kind of fallen by the wayside, and that 7th place finish from Q Wilson is going to really, really hurt down the stretch.
Yes, Q Wilson came into today with a 25-point lead over Bates. He now leaves São Paulo with just a 5-point cushion. Well, that'll about do it for today. As always, we thank you for watching and being part of another great weekend of racing. It was a great crowd, great weather, and of course a great atmosphere today as we saw this Drivers' Championship really tighten up. We're excited to see how the second half of the season will unfold, and we know you are too, so be sure to follow along for all the action. As for today, it's history for Chevy as they get their first double podium as Elius Hawkins gets his best finish ever at P2, and Brendan Bates is once again victorious as he claims his first win of the season.